In the Biafra struggle, what is your conviction? What is your motivation? Biafrans, have you witnessed or thought of the trauma of those Biafran mothers who wake in the quiet of dawn when the world still sleeps and the streets are silent? She prays with tears in her eyes. Her sons are not home. Some have left for faraway lands because they are targeted for slaughter by the oppressive government of Nigeria. Others lie buried in shallow graves of memory. She sits at the corner of her bed or lies staring on the ceiling, but has her mind far away. Others watch the early morning sky through their windows or holding a fainty photograph. It's the photo of a dead son, killed not by illness, but by bullets of the oppressor. In the midst of all these, she whispers one name, Biafra. She searches for a conviction to why this Biafra struggle worths it, and the motivation to keep holding on. And now I ask you, in the Biafra struggle, what is your conviction? What is your motivation? Is it your pain, your anger, your father's story, your mother's tears? Is it the burnt villages, the war songs, or the hunger you saw in the eyes of children who never knew peace? This question is coming because if you are in this struggle and you do not know the genuinity of what you believe in and why, if you shout Biafra without understanding what it truly means, then you are only echoing a noise. And when the chants fade, your passion will fade with it. Let us be clear. Biafra is not just a name. It is not just a flag. It is not just a map drawn in blood. Biafra is an idea, a conviction, a purpose, a home that must be reborn, not for revenge, but for restoration. So let us take a moment to reflect, to reawaken, and to understand the foundation of this journey. Biafra was a sovereign state in the eastern Nigeria from May 30th, 1967 to January 15th, 1970. It was not created out of politics, but out of pain. It rose from the ashes of pogroms, massacres, and systemic marginalization of the Igbo and other Eastern people. Biafra was not simply a declaration of separation, it was a declaration of survival. It asked a simple question: must we continue to die in silence? And in that short time, despite blockades, famine, and war, Biafrans showed the world what resilience meant. We built refineries in the bush. We crafted weapons from scrap. We flew aircraft with ingenuity. We fed our people with courage. It was not perfect, but it was powerful. What we lost was not just land or lives. We lost a vision. But visions do not die. They wait. They wait for those with conviction strong enough to lift them again. Now IPOB is here to bear that vision to fruition. Listen closely, because this is where many get it wrong. The goal of Biafra is not simply to leave Nigeria. It is not hatred. It is not revenge. The true goal of Biafra restoration is freedom with purpose. It is to build a society grounded in justice, equity, self-determination, and discipline. To show Africa and the world that Black people can govern themselves with integrity, vision, and order. The idea is to build a land where the child of a poor trader can become a leader, not because he has connections, but because he has competence. A land where culture is preserved, values are respected, and dignity is non-negotiable. We do not seek to replicate Nigeria on a smaller scale. We seek to restore a higher standard, a Biafra that reflects our true worth. What is conviction? What is motivation? Conviction is what you believe deeply and unshakably. It is not excitement. It is not emotion. It is belief rooted in truth. Motivation is why you keep going, especially when it gets hard. It is the fire that keeps your feet moving long after the cheers have died. So I ask again, what is your conviction? What is your motivation? If your conviction is tribalism, you will only create more division. If your motivation is revenge, you will carry forward the same poison that once broke us. But if your conviction is justice, if your motivation is restoration, then your heart beats in rhythm with the true spirit of Bafra. In this struggle, we cannot thrive on protest alone. We need builders, not just fighters. We need planners, not just chanters. We need thinkers, does, and visionaries. True liberation begins in the mind, long before it manifests on the land. You cannot build Bafra with a Nigerian mentality. You cannot restore a nation with a corrupted soul. To help you understand the power of true conviction in real life, think of the young engineer in Aba, designing tools to help local farmers. He does not see Bafra as a breakaway. He sees it as a land where his genius will not be buried under corruption. Think of the teacher in Onitsha who says, "In Bafra, I will teach my children our true story, not what the state allows." Think of the mother who lost 2 sons to police brutality and still says, "Bafra is not just for the dead, it is for the living, for the daughters I still have." This is conviction. This is motivation. Not anger, but purpose. Not bitterness, but vision. If you are a Biafran youth, you are not too young to know what is at stake. Do not let politicians or profiteers use you as pawns. The things outlined above should be your focus. And if someone asks if you're focused, evaluate yourself by asking if these outlined points are your dominant thoughts and reason you do what you do, support what you support, or follow whom you follow. Your voice is powerful, but only if it is informed. Your feet are strong, but only if they walk in truth. So study the past, read Ojukwu's speeches, learn from Thomas Sankara, Nkrumah, Mandela. Understand what leadership really means. Understand that wars are fought in the mind as much as they are on the streets. Because if you do not have strong convictions on why you fight and build unyielding motivations around them, you will stop when it gets hard. But if your conviction is deep and your motivation is clear, nothing will stop you. So once more I ask you, in the Bafra struggle, what is your conviction? What is your motivation? Is it to make noise or to make change? Is it to be noticed or to build? Is it a hashtag or a heritage? Let your conviction be rooted in truth. Let your motivation be guided by purpose. Let us fight, not just to escape oppression, but to build a better reality. Let us not chase Bafra with emotion, but with clarity. So that when the sun rises one day over a free Biafran land, the world will say, they were not just angry, they were prepared. They were not just loud, they were disciplined. They were not just victims, they were visionaries. That is the Bafra worth dying for. That is the Bafra worth living for. That is the Bafra worth building. Do not allow yourself to be distracted from these core values. Do not mind clout chasers. We have been here and watched the beginning and ending of many of similar people, and we are still here. Many are rising now, and many will still rise tomorrow, But if you know these things, blessed are you, because you will be as unmovable as the rock. Do not build your motivation on humans, because those feeble beings will fail you. Stay strong and remain. Resolute, be a friend. Family Writers, Press International.